Hi, I've decided to create a new group for mindful eating in Ireland for vegans because once I stumbled on this idea of doing mindful eating, I, I went online to look for finding out more about it, and there isn't that much that I could access anyway. And on Facebook, where it's usually there's so many groups and stuff, there was only a couple of groups, and it looked like most people that were on this Mindful Eating Ireland group were just posting up pictures of their meals, no real explanations, and it was mostly kind of weight loss oriented, and they all seemed to be referring to Weight Watchers or Slim Watchers or whatever plan. So why not? This might just be to indulge me, but it's the kind of group that I was hoping to find. Well, not exactly for vegans, but like I am a vegan, so why not? And I live in Ireland, so okay, it's gorgeous here. So I just thought I'd say that. Today is like my third or fourth day doing the mindful eating. It's really fun. Geez, during this lockdown, I have learned how to walk again because of my glute activation kind of mission. And I've learned how to do a lot of things over again that, you would have thought. Also, standing, because I was looking at this whole thing about your metatarsals in your feet, and do you have fallen arches or don't you? So I was just playing around with that, and how to eat again. And today's the very first day. Okay, sorry, I was starting to say that every day I've gotten up and was excited about eating because it was like, oh, I get to do my mindful thing again. The writing in the food diary is a bit tedious. Let's face it, writing down everything that you're eating. And I'm a bit of a foodie, so I bang in the superfoods. I don't make it too crazy, but for me, it's a bit of a chore to write it all down, as well as how you feel about it, because I feel like I don't have a problem with writing down what I feel about it, except how do I feel about it? I'm not sure. So that's the only thing. But today is the first day that I feel like, hey, I'm thinking about food. I'm thinking about the next meal before I'm ready to have that next meal. And it was like 11 o'clock when I had my breakfast, or when I finished it. And I'm thinking, okay, the way I'm doing it the way I breastfed my kids, every 4 hours. That sounds about right, You get 3 meals in, evenly spaced. Jesus, that's very different from the way I normally do it, which is just graze the whole day away, or not eat for hours. And today's the first day that I'm thinking about, come on, when's next mealtime going to be? And the other thing is, because today is the day that bread comes, so there's fresh sourdough bread in the house at the moment. And I know, I've experienced and I recognize that bread, and in fact most things that are ground to a flour, have this addictive, for want of a better word, property to it. So I'm just observing that. But I watched a great talk on mindful eating yesterday from the Aviano Air Base community, the Resilience group on Facebook. I'll share it. It's 30 minutes, very painless is what I meant to say, sorry. And of course, he's talking about mindful eating as a gateway to mindful living, so doing everything mindfully. And as I was out here walking, I realized, well, sure, the only reason why I'm thinking about food, I'm thinking, okay, it's 1:30 now. That means I've got another couple of hours to go till 3 p.m., my next meal time. But of course, you have to prepare the meal, so it's less time than that, really. And I thought, it's because I'm not mindful of what I'm doing right now. And like that, I started to notice the bees. Oh, here comes the car. And other insects and the flowers and the smells and how gorgeous it was. And I thought, okay, time to record a kind of a bloggy thing. So that's what I'm doing here, trying to share that wisdom. How are ya? With ye, and or maybe with me if I'm the only one watching or listening. But yeah, I think it's worth saying, because can easily forget, especially if you decide that I'm going to do this mindful eating thing, or I'm going to keep a food diary. Therefore, you're making food and eating, a focus point of your attention and your energy. So it can be a kind of glass half empty, glass half full scenario. So in this case, it's like, the mindful piece. So just tune me back into being mindful, like when I'm not eating. So when I'm eating, mindful eating. When I'm not eating, mindful living. So right now I'm on a walk, mindful walk. Gorgeous to be out here during lockdown time. So lucky to be able to walk. As people are saying, we don't know what the rest of the country, cities are like, because we're here in East Clare, like other pockets of the country where It's not quite 100% rural and isolated, but it is not too far from it. So like that, I'm going to go over to this hawthorn bush and sign off and enjoy more of this mindful walk.